we've watched our fair share of van videos, probably more than we should probably admit. It's like a kind of guilty,
lots of hours, for sure.
Guilty pleasure on our part. But everyone always does a van tour, and I'm properly nosy. Like, I love looking through people's van tours, and so we thought we'd do the same thing for those people who are nosy, which is probably most of you. So we're going to do it pretty informal. We've not done this before, so we don't know whether we're doing it right. So we may be talking a bit too much and maybe not showing you the juicy stuff. So let's just see how it goes. So you know the backstory behind how we got the van. You know how we got scammed. You can probably tell why we bought the van, because it does look quite nice. It's aesthetically pleasing, but there were a few hidden gremlins, as you've now seen. So what we'll do is we'll kind of split this up, and we'll show you the van from the outside. Then we'll go inside and show you all the nitty gritty. You can't ask any questions, but me and Kendall will just...
If you have questions, you can always leave them in the comments, and we'll definitely get back with you.
And people will definitely do that anyway and tell us what we're doing wrong.
Oh, yes, please. We love it when you tell us what we're doing wrong. So please tell us what we're doing wrong. Just write it down below.
Bonus points for the more patronising.
Oh, yeah, the more patronising, the better. We love it.
We love that. Is it an Iveco? Yeah, it's Iveco, but it's a Irisbus, and it's the Mellor, isn't it? Or Mellor. Mellor? No.
It's a really big bus.
Yeah, it's a conversion. It's massive.
It was an ex-council bus.
I think I don't know what it was used for before, but it lived up in Scotland for most of its life. It was a council bus, and that was what it did all of its life. And then we didn't convert this, so if there's anything that you want to comment on in a negative way, then obviously we'll just direct that to the person that built it. We only accept compliments. So.
Yeah.
But we didn't do it. I'd love to claim that I did, because to be fair, he's done an amazing job with it. We didn't know what we didn't know, and now we've lived in it for a while, a month. Well, there's a few things that we would have done differently, and a few things that we'll show you, and then you can offer up some suggestions and what we could do to improve this, and we will potentially incorporate it.
I think we're happy with what it is right at this moment. But yeah, feel free. Let us know what you think. Tell us what we can do better, because this is our first time, so we really we don't know what we're doing. We had no idea what to look for when we first bought the van. So that is definitely something that as we go on in this tour, you will see, wow, I probably wouldn't have bought it for that, or I probably would have done this or this or this. Or this. We know. We know now. Hindsight's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, well, we've got it now. We've spent the money on it, and we're too far in, and we love it for what it is. There's some changes we would definitely want to make. Technically, I don't have the kind of skill set in order to do it, but there are people out there that obviously do, so we'll look for it. So anyway, enough of that. Shall we show?
Yeah.
Let's show them around. This is our 2009 Iveco Mellor Irisbus. I think it's called that anyway, but let me show you around. So you'll probably notice that it's massive, and that's good because we wanted it to be really big, and also it looks pretty cool with the graphics. We didn't do it, but they do look pretty good. So follow me around the van, I'll show you everything on it, and then we'll show you inside. So the first thing you'll probably notice is there's a big white box there, a Starlink internet, absolutely needed, especially for what me and Kendall do anyway when we work on the road and run our own online businesses. But it's not mounted yet, as you can probably tell. We do want it on the roof. That is a plan anyway, to get it on top of the roof just to make it nice and neat, but for now it does the job. You can probably tell just by looking at this that it's not a normal motorhome. It was a council bus. It's been converted, as we said earlier on, and you've still got the open and the closed door on there. It's not ideal. I mean, this is how we close it. You lock it. It's a secure door, but it's a right pain in the backside when you actually want to get in and out. It would be easier just to press the button, but it uses so much power that we never ever use it. Also, the fact, if you look down here, you'll see how much these side skirts overhang the wheels. That takes a bit of getting used to when you're driving it. When I first did my C1 driving license, because this weighs over 5 ton, I had to take a special license, which is a C1, so I had to go and do the theory test and the practical driving test. It weren't as wide as that. Now this does take some getting used to, especially when you slap these big elephant ears on the side there. It really takes up most of the road. So again, it just takes a bit of getting used to, but I'm used to it now and I'm an absolute champ. So we're at a campsite right now, as you can probably tell by every caravan around us, and there's a good reason for that. We don't have any battery power at the moment, and don't worry, I'm not going to go into that yet. You might be asking questions, that will come and I will tell you about that. But we're plugged in right now, so we do have a battery set up. They don't work very well, which is why we're plugged in. This is our water tank, so when we fill up with water, we are in the process of getting a new tank. At the moment, we don't have anything, so that's pointless. But when we got the van originally, it had a 70-litre water tank on it, which we thought was quite big, but we knew nothing about motorhomes, and it turns out it runs out almost immediately. Either that or we're not very good at conserving water, which I'll probably...
I think we're probably not very good at conserving water.
I would say that's probably more like it. But we are getting a big whopping one on there. Obviously that's a lot of weight. 250-litre tank is quarter of a ton, so we're going to need some serious support underneath it. You can do that kind of Instagram shot where you dangle your legs over there with a coffee and you know you've got a nice view. At the moment we don't have a particularly nice view, and I've got my slippers on, so it's not the most Instagrammable thing in the world, unless you're into slippers.
I pull one out.
There you go. So this is the garage area and it's below the bed. We have filled it up with everything at the minute and we've still got more stuff to put in there. The plan is to put some storage underneath it, and I will show you underneath it in a minute because it is cavernous under there. It is huge. That's a good word. I've never used that word before, cavernous. But we've got a load of stuff in there. The batteries live in there, and so does the water heater and the pump. The gas, well, we don't have any gas at the moment. We don't seem to have anything at the moment, but we will have gas. It's going to be LPG. It'll be mounted underneath there, so when we go into Europe, we'll be able to top it up rather than carrying around a big patio gas style thing, taking up more room. So that's the plan for that.
So here in the cab area, it's a 6-speed manual, and here we've got, these seats are not obviously original to this bus. They're from a Qashqai, a Nissan Qashqai, I believe. They're really comfortable. And then we've got Blue and Mila's little bed there. They love being on there when we're on the road. They always just kind of look and see what's going on. And then we've got, I keep these bags on the seats just because of the fact that I don't want them to hair up the seat, especially Mila. The big fluffy one, she loves to sit on them and she gets them really, really hairy. We keep our vacuum and broom and mop right back there. It just adds to a little bit more space, just because in a van, you definitely don't have as much space as you think you will when you first move in. And that is especially true when you've never done van life before and you have a huge van. You just think that, oh, we've got so much room for everything. You don't. So you learn to be a little bit creative. Hello.
Hello. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to show you my bathroom.
Show me
for
then.
some not creepy reason.
I'm here now, so show me the bathroom.
Okay. Oh gosh. So it's actually quite spacious. We've got a porta potty. Chemical toilet, unfortunately. We are looking into getting a composting loo, but for now, this will have to do. We actually did all of this ourselves. We also have a Max Air fan. It's a little dinky one, but it does the job for when you have showers and things. It kind of sucks all that air up, so that's good. Unfortunately, you do have to make sure this one is closed. It's not like the other bigger ones where you can leave it open even if it's raining. This one has to be closed. It still does the job, so it's fine. We do have a rainfall shower. I imagine that it would be luxurious. Haven't used it yet. But it does bring me to the fact that, ironically, having a shower was like one of our big must-haves in our van, just because we want to be minimalist people. We really thrive on that. Well, we try to thrive on that, and
you'll see in a minute that we're not particularly minimalist of van life people.
Well, I'll just say this: we sold everything except for the stuff that's in our storage room, but we sold like all of our furniture and most of our stuff. So we actually downsized quite a bit because we did have a 3-bedroom house. And so coming from a 3-bedroom house to this van, even though it is a bigger van for van life, it is still, you can only have so much space, right? Being that we had to have a shower, we also thought that we would have more storage space, but that obviously wasn't the case. And then storage for towels, We've got...
Lady things, Kendall.
I know, but I didn't know how to word it. I'm trying to be like PC or... I don't know.
I'm just loving watching...
Let me show you what's in my basket.
I love watching you squirm with it.
Oh no!
So if you look at the door, it's like a proper bus, as you can see even just from the yellow handle that's still there. It's like a proper bus door, but it doesn't really seal tightly. It's still kind of drafty, and that's because, I don't know if you've noticed this bit up here, door open, door close, which is actually the wrong way round. It really irritates me that the red is the door open and the green is the door closed. I don't know why, I've got OCD, but it just really annoys me. And we never use it, ever. And above here, we've got so many wires, and I don't know what any of them do. I know that they do something to do with opening and closing the door, but we don't use it. And the reason we don't use it, firstly, it consumes loads of power from the battery setup, but also, you can see here, we've come with a really high-tech solution to insulate the gaps in the door. Now, between me and you, this was actually from Homebase. It's meant to be there to insulate pipes. And we've obviously used it to insulate the door, but there's still a draft that's getting in. So what we've done is we've put some curtains across here like this. We've also done the curtains across here as well. And it kind of separates the cab from the main living area. It does exclude the draft, but it didn't do it very well. So the curtains that were in there, we had to beef up the curtains a bit. So we've got some beefy curtains in place here, and it makes a bit of a difference, but it's not as good as we was hoping for. I would love some kind of partition wall across here, but you know what, we haven't got it. One of the weird things about this van is the fact that there's no driver or passenger door at all. The only way to get in the van is through here and through the back. They're the only two ways in, so it takes a bit of getting used to. I feel like a proper bus driver when I get on it, but anyway, please come along. This little setup here, we have the battery control system, this little power grid here. If I just touch that there, we've got, this will tell us how much water is in the tank. This is fresh water.
Apparently we have 30%.
I don't know how, because we don't even have a tank fitted at the minute. But then we've got an outdoor light out there, which we always forget to turn off at night. And it is the most inconsiderate light you've ever seen. It is like a lighthouse just pointing at everyone. So anyone who's looking at it will probably hate us for it. We've got the S-Backer D5 diesel heater. This is the one here. Now these are brilliant. I don't know if you've ever used a diesel heater before, but if you haven't got one, you should probably get one, especially as winter's coming, as Jon Snow would say, because this is brilliant. I mean, it gets really cold in the van because of the draft, but as soon as you turn this bad boy on, you can pretty much set it overnight. So you can have this on overnight on a low setting. It uses barely any diesel. It just kind of gently sips away from the main diesel tank. You just have to remember to always have 1/4 of a tank of diesel, because if you have any less than that, you'll be bleeding the system, and that's a right pain in the backside. I think my favourite part of this area here, I know it's quite a specific area to have a favourite part, but I've got a favourite part of everything, is this. So outside we've got a, is it called Fiamma? Fiamma? I don't know how you say it.
Fiamma.
Fiamma? Something like that. Whoever's watching this will know what it is. It's the awning, and it's a big whopping awning, but rather than manually cranking it out, you just press this button and it goes out automatically and draws its way back in. So I personally think that's really cool, and I love it. Anyway, moving on. Aside, you may have come here. It's not a portrait of a handsome man. It's just me.
It's not?
No, it's me.
Oh.
It's a mirror.
Well, I thought he was way more handsome.
Depends on the lighting. It's just the lighting. Hold on. Whoa.
Right.
So this bit here, this is our shoe cupboard. You can see how nicely we've organised that. It's an absolute mess. Just it's crammed in there. But then we have this little area here. We've got a full a full plug socket, is that what you say?
I don't know.
But we've got Starlink. If you've never used Starlink before, I know it's quite expensive, but it's well worth it. Like you have to weigh up the cost of not having it. If we didn't have it and we couldn't run a business, we couldn't do what we do. So this, I wish we had some kind of shutter on this because it's just a mess. We have everything in there really. Just, you know, everyone has a junk drawer at home when you open it up and it's like batteries and cables for stuff that you probably don't even own anymore. That's kind of what that is. I just didn't expect it to fill up that much in such a short period of time. There must be things there we don't need, but anyway. Here, shifting around, we've got my computer. So it might seem like overkill, maybe it is. You may...
It definitely is.
Yeah, well, I want it. And it's my...
Right, okay.
It's
You
my
want
choice.
It. Got it.
It's
okay.
my choice. Do you want to look under my desk?
Yeah, go on then.
Under my desk is not what you're expecting. It's a cat flap.
Oh, right.
You didn't know I was going with that, did you?
No, I didn't.
So we've got a cat flap under there and we don't even own a cat. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, we've got 2 cats in our van and they're not even ours.
No.
we've just taken them for a ride.
I built him a cat flap.
There he is.
So we've got a cat flap in there because Kendall sleeps in there occasionally. No, the cat flap is, when you've got cats in a small space, it's obviously going to smell really, really quickly. So we don't want that. I mean, I don't want it to stink. So we decided, well, where were we going to put the cat box, the litter tray? We were going to put it in the bathroom. That's where we had it to begin with, but we got a little bit cute, didn't we? This whole area, none of this was there. All of this whole thing that you can see across here was a sofa. The entire thing. Now, the person who built this, fair play, it was a really clever idea because it did fold out into a double bed. So I don't want to criticize what they'd done because it was actually really clever. It just didn't work for us. So what we decided to do was to recycle every bit of material in there. We didn't need the double bed anymore. We just decided to take the whole thing out, reuse all the wood because it's very specific wood that's in there. We wanted to keep the theme going. And we decided to make it more practical by using a diner area where we can sit, eat, have breakfast, chill out, be on our laptops and so on, and then also have a desk. So you...
Kicker is, we did it in 2 days.
Yeah, we did it in 2 days. We probably could have done a better job. I mean, neither of us are particularly DIY experienced, are we? But
speak for yourself, mate.
oh yeah, I am. And you as well. But yeah, I think we've done a pretty good job. I'm going to show you some of the features in here so you can see what we've actually done and see what you think. So starting down there, Kendall did this. This scratching post is such a good idea. Now, one of my friends in one of my online communities actually suggested this idea and I thought it was fantastic. So I'm going to show you what is under my seat because I think this is really clever. I mean, you can probably tell because I did show you there was a cat flap there. So if there was anything else other than a cat box, you'd probably be surprised. This is where I keep my toiletries. The cat. Anyway.
Easy access.
Easy.
It is a little bit of a faff. I mean, we do have to take the cushions off, but honestly, compromises. It's a very small one.
I mean, we re-upholstered. I mean, it's hardly the best job, is it? I say re-upholstered. We cut it with a pair of kitchen scissors and some glue.
Yeah, well.
But there you go. Look at that.
Yep.
It always makes me laugh because I don't think it looks like a cat litter box. It looks like one of those things that they used to serve school dinners in.
What do you think, Blue? Do you love it?
I don't think there's much difference between what was served at school dinners and this, to be honest.
Probably not, but there it is.
But yeah, that's it. I mean, it's as simple as that, and you just put it back together, and it just stops the whole van smelling like cat shit, to be honest. And
I mean, we do have to empty it about twice a day. We do it first thing in the morning and then right before we go to bed. So, I mean, it does get emptied very regularly, so that also helps the smell.
it's easy. I mean, it's easy enough to keep on top of. It is a pain, but it's not that bad. It's part of the price of having cats.
Yeah.
This is cool because, I mean, this swivels out and about. We do have Amazon Fire Stick on there and we can watch TV and you can just, you know, kind of watch it from in bed if you want or watch it when you sit down. I don't have a desk chair, you may have noticed that. I know, I'm trying to get one. Well, not trying very hard, otherwise I'd have one, but I will be getting a desk chair on there so I can just sit and literally just go to work. It doesn't matter where we are. I can do my job regardless of where I am in the world. I've got Starlink, I have the computer, so we're good to rock and roll. Cabinetry, you may have noticed up here, these are terrible. Now, if the person who built this van is watching this, firstly, you did a really, really good job. I appreciate everything that you've done. However, come on. I mean, my hands are not massive, but...
Yes, they are.
Well, bigger. Not that big. I'm not David Seaman, but you can't get much in it at all.
To be fair, they are deep. It's just the opening is not wide.
Yeah, there's not much you can get in, is there? So we just keep... This is just odds and sods, really. Kind of electrical stuff. More cables than what we'd possibly need, to be quite honest with you. We've got... I've got to show him, Kendall, I've got to show him this. This is the most van life thing I've ever bought in my life. You know what's coming, do you? Right. I hope you don't know what this is. This is called a kalimba. I have no idea how.
Play us something.
Okay.
Shit, mate.
I know. I don't know how to play it.
Just another with a kalimba.
Can't say that. Can't say that. I just saw it on. I saw it on Facebook on an advert, and it sounded so nice. And I thought, well, I've got loads of time in the van. I can learn how to do that.
You have loads of time in the van?
No, I thought I would.
Yeah.
It's so pretentious. I think what I will do is I'll learn something on now. I'll buy, you know, those big baggy elephant pants that people wear when they've done a gap year. I'll do that. So anyway, there's my kalimba, and I don't want to hear anything negative about that. All right, that's one rule. You can say whatever you want in the comments, but don't slag my kalimba off. One of the things that you might have looked at is these little lights. So I'll show you them here. They're all round the van. So they're just touch lights. I think they're really cool. You just touch them to turn them on. If you hold them on, they get a little bit brighter or dimmer. There you go. But they all have USB slots on there. Every single one has a USB. Never used them, probably never will, but it's nice to have, I guess. These blinds, these are our thermal insulated blinds. I don't know how thermal they are, but there you go.
They do a really good job, actually. I'll give them props.
No, they
They
do.
definitely keep it cool when the sun's directly on it, and I think that they keep it a little bit warmer. So now for the kitchen area. Well, I first have to mention the skylight. As funny as it seems, we've had this van for 6 months now, and I had an inkling that it would actually open up, but I didn't know how, and I tried really hard to, like, I don't know, maybe you just push it from the side. No, not that way. And then I thought, oh, maybe you just push it up. It was really difficult. So you literally have to do a stance, and it opens with a force. It's a little bit looser now that we've done it so many times, but I promise the first time we did it, holy crap, I thought the whole bus was gonna like fall apart. But yes, if you have a bus like this, these skylights do open and you just push it up. That's it. So one of the great things about discovering that we could actually open this is that it allows a lot of airflow through. And it's actually quite nice, and you don't get too wet. If it does rain and you kind of forget to put it down, wow, it's not really a big deal because it doesn't really get many places. And cat can't escape from it. In here, come in my kitchen. We've got our lovely fire alarm and carbon monoxide combo alarm. It's at 0, so we're safe, we're good. This is a mess. We've got medicines and all that other kind of fun stuff. And then we've got, you know, the peanut butter and pantry things, pantry items.
You come from pharmacy and we've got peanut butter.
That's just what's in there. That's what I saw. That's what I put in. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't look super organized, but I promise I know where everything is. So that's that. And then on this side, so these are kind of through. So there's no divider. So that's like the end of the pantry, and then the beginning of the coffee and what are these called? Cups. the coffee in the cups. And then we do have some mason jars for when I do my meal preps for overnight oats and things like that. So come down here and we've got super clever little, well, at least I thought it was really clever, little makeshift for not having drawers for spoons, knives, forks, all that kind of stuff. We've got Tupperware here, as well as I think there's like the oats and stuff are back there, cereal and shortbread. And then we've got some tuna, utensils, coffee.
I love that you decided to mention that there was some tuna just stuffed in there, like people needed to know.
I don't know. I've never done a van tour, so I'm not really sure what I should and shouldn't say.
Have you got your tuna in there? Just in case someone comments, have you got your emergency tuna?
Emergency tuna.
No, we're all right. Don't worry, guys. We're fine. We've got it.
If you'll notice, we put this kind of mesh stuff on there. I don't really remember what it's called. But it's rubbery, and everybody will know what I'm talking about. But it just keeps everything from rattling because it's metal. When the van moves, everything rattles, so it just keeps it insulated from rattling, so you can't hear anything. So that's good. We actually have a full oven. It's a double oven. I think this is a grill up here. And then we've got 3 burners and a hot plate. So yeah, that's where we cook all of our food. Well, I don't cook, Lee cooks. And then we've got a sink. Don't mind those dishes. And then we've got all of our little pantry items here as well. Fire extinguisher. We also have a Google Hub. Because we have Starlink, we're able to have that, which is really useful. It works just like it would at home. So we use that to listen to Spotify or ask it to tell me what time it is, because I'm too lazy to take my eyeballs and put it over there. So it's good that it talks to me. Here we've got our Dometic fridge freezer. I believe, don't quote me on this, I think it's 95 liters. Overpacked it as you would in a van. Got a nice little bit of freezing space. Don't really use that much, as you can see. And then I think one of my favorite things that we've bought for this van is this water purifier. So I am really, really health conscious, and I'm really big into getting rid of microplastics and all that kind of stuff in the water, the pesticides and bacterias and everything. And this little thing, this is a water drop filter. It fits perfectly in this space, and it does, one filter does, I think they said 757 liters. So, and we use this every day. So that is massive for this little guy. And it just charges in a USB port. So it's brilliant. What else? In this one, we've got trash can, a little basket for, we've got some more tea towels, and then zipper bags. We've got, cleaning supplies, blender, diesel heater, vent. We have a soda stream, which seems extra, but I love it. We've got a little tiny Nespresso machine, which is great because we do have that little percolator, as you probably saw down there, but it is a faff to make coffee in the mornings. So this little guy, good. And we've got a Ninja. It is the Ninja Foodie air fryer. That's kind of why we kept it, mainly because of its air frying function. But we love it so much. And if I cook, I don't use anything but that because it is so easy. I don't really have to wash up, and that's just good for me.
This is where the magic happens. It's a double bed. It's comfy, is probably the comfiest bed in any van build that there is, because we bought a hot knife from Amazon and we sliced our entire mattress, which was a pretty horrible thing to do because it was a really nice mattress that we'd bought, but we ended up getting a hot knife. And this here, that's the excess of the bed. But rather than just throwing it away, we decided to use it. Firstly, it's actually a nice pillow. We can lay on it when we're watching TV. It's actually quite comfortable to do that. And secondly, it blocks out a bit of the cold. As you can probably notice, that behind us is glass, and we want it to be glass because when we park up somewhere nice, you want to look outside and see a nice view. However, that's one part of the van that is not properly insulated. As I said at the beginning of this video, there's loads of glass inside this van, and because of that, it kind of exacerbates the sun and makes it really warm, and it makes it really cold when it's in the winter months. So we haven't insulated that specific part yet. We will, but that's kind of there for that reason. But it's a really comfy bed. We've got our skylight above there. It's not a Max Air fan. I kind of wish it was. I am tempted to replace it by a Max Air fan to draw out the hot air, especially when we go to warmer climates as well. We're probably gonna want to do that, but I guess we'll find out, you know, when we go there. It's pretty cool. You can stand out. We have done this. In fact, the other day we saw the Northern Lights in the UK. I did actually poke my head out like a little meerkat, just looking outside, taking pictures of the Northern Lights and so on. It's really cool. We have more Kendall's clothes, Lee's clothes. Again, not the biggest hole, but big enough to store a load of clothes. So we've got a decent sized van. We've got plenty of natural light, loads of windows in here, and we love it. Kendall sat on what she thinks is the best purchase that she's ever made.
One of, not the best, but
So,
one of for sure.
Stand up, please, Ken.
And it was on offer, let me just tell you.
I'm not
£5.
surprised. And I'm not surprised. It looks it. So we've got a really nice looking van, in my opinion, and Kendall goes and brings in something that looks like it belongs in Homebase. She will claim that it's multifunctional, it serves a purpose, it's very useful, and unfortunately,
But it does.
she's completely right.
No, well, yeah, I
You
am
didn't
right.
expect me to say it,
No, I didn't because I came home and I gave them this and I said, look, I'm really excited about this. It was on offer. And he's like, that is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. And I said, well, I love it. So it helps us get up on the bed, obviously, because it is so high up. But also,
we're in our 30s and not 70.
I like it. It does help me get up in bed. But also, it's my junk drawer. It has all of the little things that people put, you know, in your little kitchen cupboard that nobody ever goes in.
Said that.
No, but that's this.
So we've got 3 junk. We've got the 2 shelves at the beginning that I said.
Those aren't junk shelves. Those actually have purpose. You've got coffee and all that kind of stuff in there. This is junk. Wow, it's not really junk. It's...
Do we need it?
Yeah. Everybody needs Gorilla Glue. Everyone. And everyone needs duct tape.
We're saying this after a month, like we know.
WD-40. Everybody needs WD-40 because they're squeaky things. So yes.
I thought you were going to literally go through everything in that drawer.
No. I was just showing the big parts.
No, fair enough.
And zip ties. Those are big too. Yeah.
Ken,
Yeah.
what's behind the seat? What's behind that?
Oh. That's just the garage.
Well, don't downplay it. Tell me more.
I mean, there's not really much to say about it. It's just the inside of a garage. It's more storage under the bed. I can't really see anything because it's kind of night outside. But we do have a camping stove for those times you just feeling frisky. And lots of storage containers and cleaning products because you can never have too many of those. Tools, more cat stuff, batteries over there somewhere. That's about it. There's a fan in there. What do you got there?
Huh?
What do you have in your hand?
This?
Yeah, what is that?
Thought you'd never ask. It's only my favourite thing in the whole van.
All right.
Yep. Do you want to see?
Well, yeah, what does it do?
This.
What?
Oh. I love it. It just sets the ambiance. So depending on your mood, hold on. Depending on the mood that you're in, it kind of, you know, it sets the vibe. We can be hot and saucy. We can be fresh.
Looks like a club.
Depends. Well, it does. I mean,
Like
if
a
anyone
dance club,
has,
you know?
well, if anyone has epilepsy, fast forward because. Well, there you go. That was our van. Probably the most sporadic van tour you've ever seen.
I
But
imagine so. We've never done this before, so apologies if this was kind of out of sync. But we really appreciate you getting this far. So if you really liked what you saw, give it a thumbs up.
that is
Maybe
so.
hit a subscribe button.
That is so. That is everything you've seen on YouTube before, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you have to say that.
Yeah, okay.
If you want to. I mean, if you want to see more of it, then keep up with our adventures.
Otherwise, don't bother.
Yeah, probably wouldn't either if I were you. But if you want to see what we get up to, and it will be possibly fun for you, then please do the subscribey thing or whatever you want to do. Hopefully, you'll want to come along with us. And
well, we will be going throughout Europe, so just as we were very novice and very sporadic about getting this van, and we didn't know what we were doing or what to look for, we definitely won't know anything in Egypt.
nothing.
We will.
We haven't prepared for that at all.